So this topic has probably generated more questions than anything else, and that's about the manatees. What can be done about the manatees? Is there any way to use the harvested vegetation to feed them? Where's the problem coming from? Etc. So people are really interested and concerned about what's going on there and what, if anything, can be done.
Unless somebody else wants to jump in, I'll take a stab at this. So yes, there is a unusual mortality event going on with our manatees. There are about 600 that have died around the state of Florida since the beginning of this calendar year. About 200 of those have been in Brevard County. The federal government has declared this as an unusual mortality event for manatees, and the leading cause appears to be starvation. So what happens in the winter is that the manatees get cold, and so they gather around warm water sources, and then there's not enough food nearby those warm water sources to feed all of those manatees. And so, we've just come through the winter. We've lost like 45,000 acres of seagrass in the Indian River Lagoon. And so, there's less food than there used to be. And the manatees have been stressed from the cold, and then they're hungry and they've been starving. So now we are seeing them disperse, and the manatee protection agencies have actually flown aerial surveys over the warm water congregation sites, and they are seeing that the manatees are dispersing. So that's really good. Manatees are doing what manatees should be doing. They're swimming to other sites now that the water is warming up, and hopefully they're finding sites that have food and instead of staying congregated at these warm water sources where there is not food. And so, yes, there have been multiple requests to feed the manatees, especially going to those warm water sites where the manatees are congregated and trying to feed them there. That would actually encourage the manatees to stay where there is not enough food. And manatees eat a lot of food, so it's not practical to be able to keep up with their needs at a site like the power plant. We need those manatees to follow their natural behaviors and move to where there is food naturally. Also, those congregation areas, if one manatee is sick, just like if we are sick and we congregate, we can make each other sick. The same thing can happen with manatees. So we need the manatees to disperse. The other thing is that in the most recent necropsies, they're actually seeing food in the manatees' stomachs. They are eating the caulerpa and other vegetation that is out there in the lagoon, but the overwintering process was so hard on them that they are just not capable of getting their digestive systems up and running again. So even if we were to try to feed them at this point, it's too late. They're not able to get their digestive systems working. So for the ones that have been able to make it, the best thing for them to do is to disperse to better habitats rather than doing anything that might encourage them to stay here.